She went onto the wrong side of the road and had a head-on collision with a bus.
Oh shit!
There are lots of
like I said
that's
before.
one of the most important things. Yes.
Like I said before.
Yeah.
We don't know what your intentions are. When people see the video on the news and it's you,
yes,
it won't go down well with your family.
Who cares what other people think? It's not unusual. It's a human emotion, and we're human beings.
That's right. Yeah.
So we. Hey guys, and welcome. I'm Hazza.
And I'm Muzike.
And this is the Late Night Fix. Join us on a journey into the night. Anything is on the table and nothing is off limits.
So take a seat and buckle up for action-packed episodes. Hot topics, juicy goss, and special guests are coming your way.
Don't go anywhere.
Coming your way.
Late Night Fix. Don't go anywhere.
Coming your way.
Late Night Fix. Don't go anywhere.
Coming your way.
Late Night Fix. This is
your Late Night Fix.
Hi guys, welcome to the Late Night Fix. I'm your host Hazza and I'm here with my co-host Muzike. How are we?
Hey Hazza, how are we tonight, bro?
Yeah, going very well.
I'm excited, man. Absolutely.
Great episode that we just had on lockdown. So the lockdown special, what a hit. Today or tonight, we're going to nosedive into road rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On episode 2.
Absolutely. So I wanted to start off with a story, actually, something that happened to me last week. So I was driving down a road around when school finishes. The windows were wound down. I was just chewing my fingernails, as I sometimes do, and, flicking the nail clippings outside the window. And that's just something I do, I guess, mindlessly. I don't really think about stuff like that. I mean, do you do things behind the wheel of a car when you're relaxed, listen to music, say, or I don't know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm listening to music because it's pretty cruisy, actually.
It's pretty cruisy, right?
Yeah, and it gets you in a good mood too.
It gets you in a good mood, It's that time of day. Anyway, I'm driving along, biting my fingernails, flicking them out the window, and then all of a sudden, beep, 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 beep. I hear that.
Wow.
Yeah, coming from behind me. I look in the rear view. There's no one there.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, who was that? And then all of a sudden to my left, there's a motorcyclist. He'd pulled up alongside me and he says to me, "Oh, I hope you know I've recorded you. I've got you on camera, biting your nails, flicking them out the window. They landed on me, so I'll be going straight to the police."
Wow.
Yeah. But you told me before that the camera wouldn't pick up the clippings, surely.
It's pretty fine.
It's pretty fine, right?
Yeah.
My first instinct was to tell this guy that he was full of it. My first instinct was anger.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I felt.
But it triggered him.
It triggered him. Anyway, I just let it go. So I apologized to him. I knew that, maybe the fingernails did land on him. Perhaps I was in the wrong. I just apologized. He looked a bit confused because I backed down. I didn't really think I was backing down, but I think sometimes it's better to let things like that go rather than waste energy getting angry and shouting or swearing back or telling people that they're idiots.
Yeah, it's better to diffuse the problem.
Defuse the problem, right? Anyway, he just rode away and that was it. But what is it about hopping behind the wheel of a car that turns a normal, everyday, average Joe into a maniac, into a lunatic? Why do we become angry when we drive? Have you ever experienced road rage?
I have, yes, many times.
You've been guilty of it, or you've been a victim of road rage, or you've just seen it?
I've actually seen it. I see it a lot.
Tell us about that.
Well, this was, a long time ago. Just, driving on the main roads and forgot what the guy did, but I think I beeped at him or something because he cut me across or something like that. And anyways, he I come to the lights and he's on the other lane as well. I think lane 1 and I'm in lane 2. And he's just start swearing at me. Like, I'm like, what's wrong with you and all that. And then he was threatening, to get out of his car and come and punch on.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? Seriously. Like, what is wrong with you, man? I'm just shaking my head.
Absolutely.
And I just ignored him. Yeah. Because I knew, like, if I continue arguing with him, he'll definitely, get out and, try and punch on. Because I saw him, he took his belt off.
Wow. Belt?
Yeah, he took his actual seatbelt off and he was about to get out of his car.
I thought you meant the belt around his pants, like he was going to whack you with his belt.
No. Well, he was sitting in the car, man.
Yeah, it reminded me of my childhood. I grew up in the 90s when it was still acceptable to belt kids. So what is road rage? What do you think road rage is? You spoke then about swearing, aggression, foul language, hopping out of the car, wanting to fight people.
Yeah.
What is road rage to you? Definition?
Well, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I guess in a way, those people that commit road rage are having a bad day, I guess, or someone that does something and it just triggers them.
The best way to define road rage is by using examples, okay? So what you said is perfect, absolutely. It's swearing at people, it's getting frustrated, it's getting angry, it's getting impatient, it's erratic driving, changing lanes,
For sure.
or driving unpredictably, it's swearing or mouthing off at people, giving people a filthy look when you drive. Basically, it's losing your temper.
That's right, yeah.
Absolutely. You seem like a pretty chilled kind of person, like you don't get angry very easily. Have you ever lost your temper behind the wheel of a car?
Well, look, not really, but I have experienced, I've seen
You've seen
people
yes.
do road rage, in front of you, like they just cut across, they don't indicate.
Does that make you angry when people cut you off or they don't indicate?
Well, yeah, it does. It does make you angry because the thing is, you're driving and you're analyzing the road because it's important.
You're already stressed, aren't you, when you're driving?
Well, when you're behind the wheel and you need to analyze out on the road for hazards or anything like that.
Okay.
And when someone cuts into you and you're driving by the speed limit, that could be dangerous.
Absolutely.
You could smash into them, behind them or something like that. So
it's high stakes on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, and cars are not soft, fluffy toys.
No.
They're made of metal.
It's like a weapon.
It's a weapon.
Yeah.
People are often driving at high speed. Car accidents can cause death.
Yes, and that's really bad. It's
Absolutely.
not good.
So driving is inherently dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is probably why people do get stressed and do get angry and lose their tempers. So we're going to talk now about the causes of road rage. So as I said before, what is it about hopping behind the wheel of a car that makes people change personalities? You can have calm, everyday, angelic, innocent sort of people, but when they hop behind the wheel of a car, they often become quite different. So what is it about that makes people change? You mentioned stress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Driving, as you said, is dangerous.
It is, yes.
Yeah. Some people are just angry. There are angry people there.
There is.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know their story.
That's right.
That's another thing. Like, you got to understand, like, where they're coming from, what their situation is and what their story is,
They may have had a really bad day, an argument with a spouse.
Yeah. But still, you can't use that as an excuse, to commit road rage.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
because you're putting other people's lives at risk.
That's right. And so towards the end of this episode, we're going to talk about whether road rage is worth it. My first instinct when this motorcyclist pulled up beside me was to call him an idiot, a dumb fool, or whatever, to start swearing and abusing him and telling him he was a moron, right? That's what I felt in my guts. But then, I allowed 20 seconds to pass, or maybe not 20 seconds because that's a lot of time, probably 5 to 10 seconds to pass before I reacted. So I gave myself some time to process that anger, and then I thought, is it worth it? I'm going to get angry. I'm going to shout.
Yeah, for sure, because, your blood will start boiling up.
Yeah. But then I'm wasting my energy on this person.
There's no point. It's not worth it.
I mean, sure, it's and then there's the thing about the fingernails. Like, I don't know whether they were actually landing on him or not. Maybe they were. Who knows? It's kind of.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But you were stationary?
No, we were moving,
Right.
but it was windy.
Okay.
And there were trees and shrubs next to the road too.
And he was on a motorcycle.
Well, he was on a motorcycle in a singlet.
Oh, geez. Because I thought he would be wearing helmets, protective gear, a jacket.
He had a helmet on, but no gloves, just a singlet and sort of sports pants.
Well, look who's in the wrong then.
Well, yeah, but even if I was in the wrong, even if he was right and I was in the wrong, to me it's not worth sort of.
No, but I reckon the motorcycle person was in the wrong because he wasn't wearing protective gear.
That's true. Yeah, it seems a bit reckless, especially on a motorbike.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was riding, I should say, erratically. I'm a motorcyclist as well. I have a motorcycle permit on my license.
Yep.
And I rode for Uber Eats for a while, so I know what the dangers are like for motorcyclists.
Yeah.
I can sympathise with them very well. That's if you think driving's stressful, riding a motorbike is 5 or 6, maybe an infinite number of times more stressful than driving a car where you're protected.
Well, it looks like you've got plenty of experience driving a motorcycle because I've never driven a motorcycle.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to, hear your story. Yeah.
Thanks, CK. Yeah, you're right. You're dead right. Let's look into how common road rage is, okay?
Yeah.
So in Sydney, driving around, road rage is pretty common. It's not unusual to drive down the streets through Sydney and hear someone shouting abuse at somebody or cutting someone off or rapidly change lanes, driving in an annoying way, tailgating people, braking suddenly when someone's behind you.
I've seen that.
You've seen that?
Actually, yes. I've experienced it from taxi drivers.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Tell us about that.
They are so bad, to be honest.
Okay. Tell us about your experiences with taxi drivers.
Well, okay. So driving a heavy vehicle.
Yeah.
And obviously when they're driving slow or, they're trying to look for passengers and, and it's a green light and, you got to go through and they're just slowing down and, you blast the horn at them because they're slowing down or not moving.
Yes.
So, and then they, in a way, turn around and give you the finger or they start braking and it's happened before.
Wow.
They just want to start pissing you off.
Has anybody damaged your vehicle or your car because of road rage? Have they come out and punched your car or hit your car with
No, lucky not, no.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Right. Well, I've seen dash cam videos on Facebook and all that.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because these people in their homes are probably the sweetest people ever.
Yeah.
But when they're in a car, it all becomes so different.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Has anyone given you the finger, the middle finger?
I guess so. Not all the time, but yeah, it's happened. Yeah.
It's happened to me once actually. I was at a stop sign, and so it's kind of like a T intersection, I suppose you could say, but a stop sign there, and then I stopped. I went, but in the process, I cut off a truck.
Oh wow!
Yeah. I made it through. I think I made it through with space, but obviously I'm biased,
So what was he trying to do? Was he in front first or?
No, he ended up being behind me because I went through the stop sign after stopping.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
but he gave me the finger.
Okay, that's weird. If you were in front of him, then, you probably had the right to move on.
Well, I thought so, yeah. It's sort of one of those situations where the guy in the truck had to do a 90-degree turn.
Right.
So really he should have stopped, or not stopped, but he should have slowed down before turning right.
Right. But he saw you at the front.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But if you were behind him, it would be a different story because, he would need to lane share if he needs to turn left.
Okay. Yeah.
And, you would need to give way to heavy vehicles to turn left. It says do not overtake when, heavy vehicles turning.
Oh, it was like this. I'll just show my co-host with my hands. So stop sign and then truck.
Yep.
So I stopped, went forward, and then he came through like that.
Right.
Yeah. Do you see like that?
Yeah.
Sorry for the listeners. You can't see what I'm gesturing, but that was the situation. If you can imagine that, then that's great. So let's quickly go through some stats. Let's see how common road rage is. So in Australia, 45% of Australians have admitted to showing signs of road rage and aggression towards another road user in the previous year. This is from a car hire company. Around 72% of Australians have had another driver shout, swear, or rudely gesture at them in the previous 12 months. And about a third of Australians believe they drive less aggressively if they have a passenger with them in the car. Only 22% of drivers would act less aggressively toward a car with a baby on board sticker. So the lesson there is if you've got a passenger, you're less likely to be aggressive. Just under half of Australians have been guilty of road rage, and 72% of all drivers have experienced road rage. Now, they're sobering statistics. I'll give you one more. More than half of all road fatalities, so deaths on our roads, are because of road rage. More than half, 54%.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Absolutely. So it's huge. People die because of road rage.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not worth it, guys.
So 100%, it is definitely not worth it.
Not worth it.
So we know what it is. We know who does it. They're typically young males between the ages of 20 to 39.
Yeah.
People with anger issues, people who are prone to losing their temper. Like you said, Muzike, we don't always know where people are coming from. So if you've had a bad day or, you might have some mental health issues or something like that, then perhaps you're more likely to engage in these sorts of driving habits.
Yeah.
How do we keep cool? How do you stay calm on the road? You're a professional driver. What do you do?
Just listen to your music.
Yes.
And just
bite
keep
your nails?
cool.
Do you bite your nails?
No. No
Sorry.
chance.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Just keep cool. Make sure you're scanning the road for any hazards or anything like that. It's really important.
Yes.
Very important to scan the road. If you're not paying attention, anything could happen.
Okay.
And, just keep cool. If someone cuts you off, whatever, don't react.
Okay.
Just slow down.
Yeah.
Let them through. At the end of the day, it's not worth it because then you could end up, getting injured, something like that.
What did you think of that statistic? So 45% of all Aussie drivers have been guilty of road rage. They confess they've done it.
Yeah, it's a lot. The stats a lot, yeah.
How does that make you feel though? That if you're out on the road, 1 in 2 people have this problem.
Well, it could be like a common thing, a common problem that everyone's experienced it, and they hate it, so they want to react.
It's awareness and insight though, isn't it? Nobody likes to admit they're imperfect.
Yeah.
But I've got to put my hand up.
Yeah. Well, they want to do it, because they feel better. That's why.
They feel better.
Yeah.
But I'm guilty of road rage. I've become frustrated at other drivers. I've certainly mouthed bad things towards other drivers or directed negative energy towards people that other drivers if I don't like the way they're driving.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I can't say I've raced people on the road.
Oh, well.
Yeah. But who hasn't, I mean, you go out in Sydney on a Friday or Saturday night when we're outside of lockdown, obviously, but you always see people racing each other, cutting each other off.
And also like hotted up cars as well.
Souped up cars.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to lose. Nobody likes to lose a race.
Guys, this is not Fast and the Furious. This is out in the real world.
The real world, right?
Yeah.
We're not on a racetrack.
This is not a racetrack, yeah.
No. But the reality is that the bulk of people that are guilty of road rage are young men.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, 20 to 39 years of age. Yeah. So they're typically in that age bracket. So, young, cocky, full of testosterone. I can say this, I'm a male, so I've got nothing against myself. So, but that's just the truth. It's a statistic, that it's often young men that are the ones that engage in this type of behaviour.
And, like I said, Hazza, they do it because they feel better at the end.
Yeah.
They feel good about it, but it's not worth it.
Well, it's not, especially if more than half of the deaths on our roads are because of road rage.
Yeah.
So it's...
And a lot of people have been injured,
Precisely.
I've seen dash cam videos, man.
You mentioned earlier that sometimes women, you've seen women.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
They just, lose it and, just like men.
Was this in a shopping centre or out on the road?
No, just out on the road.
Out
yeah,
on the road. Yeah. They tried to race you?
Not racing, but I think cut you off. Yeah.
Cut you off. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not limited to men, obviously. So, just because you've got a statistic that tells you that the bulk of offenders are men, there are women that do it. And
for sure.
Yeah. There are probably people outside of that age bracket that do it too. So newly licensed drivers or elderly drivers.
Yeah.
Elderly drivers probably not so much because maybe they don't trust their senses as well if their vision's not quite.
Yeah, well, I've noticed with elders, they're a bit more safer.
They're safer,
They do more safe driving on the road and you will come across them driving a bit slower. To the speed limit.
So they're the only ones.
It is annoying. I'm not going to lie.
Well, actually, it's interesting you mentioned that because slow driving is a part of road rage. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, there are people that do it on purpose to piss you off.
Okay.
And it's happened to me as well too. Actually happened a few nights back. I was driving, heavy vehicle back to the depot. Mm-hmm. And just that person just decided to drive slower than 50. It was 50, speed limit.
Okay.
And they decided to drive at 30.
Wow.
And I'm trying to, keep up with the speed limit, but this person's driving, freaking 30 or 20, man.
You couldn't overtake?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So a single lane road or something like that?
Yeah, 2 lanes.
2 lanes.
Yeah.
Okay.
2-lane road, yeah.
It's aggravating.
Yeah, it started to do my head in, but look, you got to keep cool, man. You can't.
That's right. Good on you.
Like I said, road rage, yeah.
Go to your happy place. Think of Macca's after work or something.
I just don't understand why they do it.
Yeah, well, like you said.
I don't get it.
Well, yeah, there are reasons for road rage though, so remember those. You might have annoyed them at some lights back there, something you did, and so it could be revenge or retribution.
No, I'm obviously, wouldn't be doing anything wrong, but, when you're driving down the road, then you see this car, it's just, driving slow.
Driving slow.
I don't know, maybe it's their habit.
It could be. I've had some issues with big trucks and utility vehicles.
Yeah.
Nothing against people that drive those cars, but I've just noticed myself that, big Hiluxes, they tend to
I think they got V8 power in it.
A bit of V8 power, a bit of tow.
They like to show off.
Yeah, well, it is tempting. I know it's fun because I've driven those cars and I know how much fun it can be, but you don't want to. But I have been on the receiving end of those drivers, and it's not safe.
Yeah,
it's not safe, basically. Yeah. So, great points there made. Absolutely about those sorts of drivers' safety, and the things that cause us to be angry. When we're behind the wheel of a car.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah. So the other thing there was that having a passenger in the car can help calm you down. So do you think that you drive differently when you're by yourself compared to when you have people in the car with you?
Well, I'm always trying to drive safe. I say I'm a safe driver.
I think you're safe. I've
You know,
been in the
you've been
car.
in my car all
Yeah,
the time.
you're an amazing driver. Yeah.
You know, I don't like to speed.
Yes.
That's not me. I like to keep it by the speed limit.
Safety first.
That's right. It's always about safety. And in the industry that I work, it's always about safety. Number one priority.
Yep.
Yeah, so like, you know, everyone feels safe in my car when I'm driving. So, you know, but sometimes I say, just give it, you know. But nah, you don't want to speed. So that's just me. Everyone's different.
Yeah. I've got to say that I have been in the car once with a driver and I have experienced his road rage. I obviously they will remain nameless.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
This is not the name and shame show, but we were driving around the actually I won't even give that away. We were driving in Sydney, okay?
Yeah.
And it was during the day and the driver in question braked suddenly in front of this other person,
right,
causing the other driver to become quite frustrated. And then it caused a fight, I suppose you could say, between these two drivers, the car I was in and the other car. And they were revving their engines, they were changing lanes in front of each other, they were tailgating each other and then suddenly braking. Mind you, I was in a car with 3 people in it, the driver and 2 occupants. It got to a point where the car I was in indicated to turn right. Okay.
Yeah.
So the driver I had faked a right turn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he even indicate?
He did indicate, but the whole purpose was to trick the car that was chasing us.
Oh, okay.
Because at this point, the other car was chasing us.
Oh, he wanted to lose him.
Yeah. So we were. Yeah, that's right. We were trying to lose him. Anyway, he went up ahead. He did a U-turn, thinking that we'd turned right, but we actually continued straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we just lost him.
Oh, wow.
But it was pretty, I must say, I mean, I was quite young at the time. I was only a boy. So, yeah, it was quite scary.
Yeah.
You know, and the other thing there that was mentioned, that having children or babies in the car should calm you down, really, because you think, oh, well, I'm setting an example for the little ones. You know, I want them to learn good habits.
Yeah.
And children model behaviour.
For sure.
Yeah. So,
but look, it can be stressful. Even, you know, parents,
yeah.
like, you know, their kids, like, they're crying or, you know, they're trying to talk to you, and you're trying to concentrate driving.
Yeah, but then they see daddy going, you fucking idiot. What? Yeah, where did you get your fucking license? You know, and then they might yell out some racist abuse or something.
Yeah.
And then, you know, their son or daughter sees that and
they hear it.
Oh, sorry, pardon me. Well, they hear and see it.
That's right.
Yes, yeah, quite right, yes. And, yeah, unfortunately they model that behaviour. So you do have to think of children too if you have them. I want to talk quickly about an incident that happened in West Ryde. You may have heard about this. A nurse was driving to work very early in the morning.
Right. Is this recent or it's a long time ago?
It was earlier this year. So she was driving down through West Ryde near where the Woolworths Caltex petrol station is on Victoria Road.
Ah, yep.
You know the one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she went onto the wrong side of the road and had a head-on collision with a bus.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and died.
Oh, yes. This was...
You remember this?
Yeah, this was not... this was actually recent. Well, probably a few months ago.
So July 1st, 2021, this is a news report that I read. So around the middle of this year or perhaps a little bit earlier. But they recorded security camera footage. They found out that there was a blue car that was racing her, a Ford Festiva hatchback or something like that.
Right.
Pushed her onto the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, hit that car, eh?
Do you know where the 3 lanes become 2?
Yeah.
You know that bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're familiar with West Ryde or you make the commute from the city to Parramatta or something, or or vice versa. You know this part of the road, you know this stretch. She was pushed onto the wrong side very early in the morning, freak occurrence, collided head on with a bus and died.
Well, lucky the bus, there was no one on board. I think the bus was actually specialing back to the depot.
Oh, you know, yes, you know the story.
And yeah, it's pretty sad.
So what happened to the driver of that bus? Was he okay? Did you hear anything about that?
I think he was injured as well too.
Yeah.
And they had to close down the road.
Yes.
Emergency services attended. Yeah, it's pretty tragic, man.
Very tragic. And I did a bit of research. I could not find anything about this mysterious blue car. So it seems as if he's got away with it. He was racing it.
But they did pull security camera footage from the service station across the road.
Yeah. So they got the colour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the make and model of the car, but that's
Did they get the rego?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah. Often security cameras,
they're not that clear.
It's grainy, right?
Yeah.
But that's a case in point, you know. So who knows what's happened? We've only got very unreliable security
But the
camera
bus
footage,
would have camera footage as well too. So they would have pulled down the footage and provided to the police as well too. Because, you know, it's obviously filming from the front.
From the front.
Yeah. So they could sort of tell, you know, what happened.
I'm just thinking as well, though, that this is probably quite early in the morning, so the sun's not up, it's not daylight.
Yeah.
Maybe the vision wasn't the best. Who knows? You know, we're not the police. We don't. Yeah, but that's a case in point, isn't it, Muzike?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna talk now about how to soothe road rage. How do we calm ourselves down when we're in these situations? We know now that road rage is very common. So
it is.
Yeah.
And I think it happens nearly every single day.
Every single day on the roads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's happening somewhere, wherever you are.
And just under half of us are guilty of it.
Yeah.
And nobody's perfect.
That's right.
Yeah. And those are confessions. Those are people admitting that they have a problem. So what about the people that don't admit it? That say, oh, no, I'm perfect.
They're hiding it.
They're hiding it. Yeah, yeah. Or they're blissfully unaware. Ignorance is bliss. But yeah, I've certainly been in cars where people get angry, they get frustrated, they shout, they call people idiots, F this, F that, you know, you moron, idiot, dumb, bastard, stupid, you know, whatever. Or if they have a second language, they might use some words in their second language too.
For sure.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Okay? First thing, breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let some time pass. Notice that you're angry, so recognize that you're experiencing anger, that you're losing your temper. I've had to do this. I've certainly experienced stress in my life at work or wherever. It's not unusual. It's a human emotion and we're human beings.
That's right, yeah.
So we experience emotions. So take a breath, let some time pass, and then think, as you said before, is it worth it?
Is it worth it? Yeah.
Is it worth it getting in a punch-on in the middle of a street in peak hour traffic with people's dash cams recording? You know, is it worth it for your daughter or your son or your nieces or nephews to see Uncle Terry getting into a fight?
It's actually quite embarrassing.
It's embarrassing, so embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's not worth it, guys.
It's certainly not worth it, you know. Even if you don't get in trouble with the law, if you've done nothing legally wrong, your reputation...
That's right.
You know, at work or at home with your family. Yeah. So
because it doesn't look good, you know.
It certainly does.
When people see the video on the news and it's you,
yes,
you know, it won't go down well with your family.
That's right. I'm not one to care about
or
what
your
other
friends.
People. Yeah, well, that's it. You know, who cares what other people think? But that is one example or case where you should care what people think because it is quite embarrassing, and there's no dignity in losing your cool. And getting into punch-ons on the road.
Yeah.
So don't hop out of the car.
Yeah, don't hop out, nah.
Yeah. Don't hop out of the car and forget about revenge, you know.
Just ignore it.
Just ignore it, yeah. If someone cuts you off, ignore it. Don't think about getting back at that person.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Just yesterday I was driving down Epping Road and I some people were merging into my lane from the lane to the right, the middle lane. So I just slowed right down and waved them in. So I waved a van in, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have to.
Yeah, but you're being nice, you know? Yeah.
I didn't have to, but being nice.
Yeah.
So,
And there are like people like you being nice, you know, to let other cars in. Well, I mean, that's how it is. We have to share the roads.
Yeah, they're public roads.
At the end of the day, you don't own those roads, you know? Public roads, we share them.
We share them, absolutely.
And there's a reason why the cars have indicators.
Yes, that's right. So indicate. Yeah.
Yes, that's the most important thing. If you don't indicate, the person behind you does not know what your intentions are.
Signal your intention.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you don't indicate, you could end up, you know, being in an accident.
Has that happened to you?
I've seen a lot of people don't indicate, like especially at roundabouts.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I want to turn right at the roundabout and this person's coming from my right-hand side and they're not indicating and I'm thinking, okay, he's going to go straight, right? So, you know, I wait, but then he just turns left. So and that pisses me off.
It would piss anyone off. I'm just getting annoyed hearing about that, to be honest.
Like indicating is the most important thing when you're out on the road.
Yes, yeah.
Because
there are lots of
like I said
that's
before,
one of the most important things. Yes.
Like I said before, you know, we don't know what your intentions are.
So signal your intentions.
That's right.
Be safe. Indicate.
For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you've got to be conscious of the people around you, right?
Of course, scanning the roads, you know, for hazards.
For hazards. It's stressful. Yeah. Absolutely.
You need to be alert and aware.
It's one of those funny things because when you're driving, when you're learning how to drive, you're obviously tense because you're doing this for the first time.
Yeah.
And you've watched your parents do it. You want to do it right.
Yeah.
And everyone's telling you these horror stories about rear enders, big collisions, how you can die. So you're tense. You know, you sit forward and you're really tense and your arms are rigid and you're scared.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then, you know, the person instructing you tells you, just relax, relax, stop, you know? Yeah. So it's one of those things you've got to be aware and conscious of what's happening around you, but you've got to be relaxed too. Yeah.
But let me ask you this.
Yes, ask me.
Have you experienced when like there's a learner driver in front of you and they're driving slow? Yes. Like say it's 60 Ks, right? But they're driving half of that.
Or even 10 Ks.
You know?
Yeah.
How do you feel? I know it's probably going to, you know, in a way piss you off, but, you know, they've got big signs saying learner.
Yeah, that's
true. You know, the learner drivers, so they're trying to learn how to drive.
Yeah.
But, you know, there are people saying, why is he learning this on the main roads? You know, he could be doing it in the back streets.
Well, that's in your book though. In your book, one of the things you've got to get signed off is driving on a main road, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Like you need to know how to do that. I know it's frustrating. I've got to remember sometimes. I was a learner once too, but
everyone goes through it.
Everyone goes through it, but I must say, when it actually happens to me, I do get quite frustrated. I overtook a learner about a week ago. I just raced past him, and I had to speed to do it because I was just so annoyed.
Well, that's where you got to relax, man. Yes, because it could be dangerous.
Yeah, I realised afterwards that perhaps I should have just waited, and he turned left anyway. So yeah,
but still, you should have slowed down.
I should have. You're right. Yeah, you're quite right. That's a case in point. It's like anything really. We get frustrated at people that are learners, whether they're learner drivers or they're learners at a workplace. You know, they ask annoying questions. They get in the way. Yeah, you get annoyed with them.
And I'm sure that there's people out there that get annoyed with wedding cars. They're driving slow and.
Oh, I got stuck in a funeral procession on the road once.
Really?
Yeah, I was stuck in a procession of about maybe half a dozen cars.
Wow.
And I cut in front of the procession, so I ended up cutting off someone maybe the third car in, and I ended up in the funeral procession and I couldn't get back out again. So I was stuck in a line of funeral cars.
Oh, wow.
So the hearse was right at the front and then the mourners were behind.
Right.
And I was like the third car in, and there were maybe 6 or 7 cars in total. and I was there. I was stuck in there for maybe 5 minutes or so.
Was there other cars behind you as well that they were stuck too?
No, I was the only one that did that, so that was a silly mistake. But I'll own that, whatever.
Yeah.
Who hasn't made a silly mistake? So I'm quite happy to admit that I've made a silly mistake. Doesn't bother me.
So you did end up overtaking them?
Oh, I got out eventually, but it took some time.
Yeah.
Because I had to move back into the fast-moving lane.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. You mentioned before that people don't own the road.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest culprits in terms of road rages are territorial people.
Yeah.
They're territorial about the things they own.
Yeah. And they think, this is right to do,
Yeah.
there's no issues with that or whatever.
Yeah,
So I see it all the time, even in the city. Like, even with taxis, man, like they're illegally parking in, bus zones and no stopping zones. And, cars can't even get past. They're just, I don't know.
Stubborn.
Yeah, stubborn. They're desperate for fares. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
They're just breaking the law all the time, and that pisses me off.
Yeah, so there are things that annoy us, right?
Yeah.
When we get annoyed, remember, what do we have to do?
Keep calm, you know?
Calm.
Yeah.
So keep calm, breathe. These lessons, they're not only useful for driving, it's for everything in your life, because life is inherently annoying. You're going to be annoyed at work.
Yeah.
You're going to be annoyed in your family life. You'll be annoyed at your spouse, your wife, your girlfriend or boyfriend, husband, whatever. So frustration, anger, things not going your way.
Well, not everything is perfect, so...
Yeah, not everything's perfect. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, how exhausting would life be if we got frustrated every time plans didn't go our way or things didn't go according to plan?
And people are pulling their hair out, because of stress.
Because of stress. So is it really worth it?
That's the thing. That's the question,
Yeah. Life certainly was neither meant to be easy nor perfect. So while we're here, we'll talk about AI, okay? In particular, driverless cars.
Yeah.
So I'll give you another statistic.
And how we can, fix the road rage issues.
Yes.
How to avoid incidents.
How to avoid incidents.
Yeah, with technology.
Good one. Perfect. So a third of all accidents on the roads are caused by, not a third. Pardon me, scratch that. No, it's not a third. It's something like about half about half of the accidents on our roads are a result of human error.
Yeah.
Okay. And AI apparently would be able to reduce that amount by 1/3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it all comes down to automation.
Programming.
Programming.
Yes, that's right. But then again, AI in itself causes car accidents, right? AI is not perfect. The technology.
It's not 100% perfect, but it's getting there.
Really?
It'll take time, yeah.
Okay, because I've done a really quick Google search on AI car accidents.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know about this?
I've heard about it.
Okay. So if you Google Tesla car accidents, for example, and
it's been on the news.
Yeah, there's no no disrespect to any particular company, obviously, but or even if you just Google AI car accident, okay, you've got a woman dead, teenager critically injured. So let's have a look at some statistics, right? Because AI is this big thing at the moment. People think that, okay, more than half of all fatalities are caused by road rage. There's a significant number of accidents that are caused by human error.
Yeah.
So why not just have AI? We do it for planes in the sky. We have autopilot.
Yep.
Why don't we do this for cars? Why don't we have driverless cars? Why isn't this happening right now, Muzike?
Well, it's taking time.
Yeah.
Because electric vehicles are pretty new.
Mm-hmm.
Have been out for years, but, it's currently still expensive to buy. But eventually over the years, the prices for electric vehicles, EVs, will come down.
Okay.
And the safety features on all the cars, like even just like the petrol or hybrid vehicles, they've got the safety features on. For example, automatic braking systems. emergency braking system. So
You've got that on your car.
yeah, so it's got a front radar. It detects the other cars, how fast they're going. And if they, brake and, then when you're driving by the speed limit, it will beep at you saying brake, 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 or your car will automatically slow down.
So it will override the driver. It will overrule the driver or something.
Yeah, well, it depends what settings you've got active as well. But I think, like the government's, making it mandatory for all new cars, to have all these safety features inbuilt in the cars. So in a way, I think we are more relying on the safety features.
So automated cars, AI, artificial intelligence, that's the solution for a lot of people. This is the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So all these accidents and road deaths being caused by human error and road rage, the solution apparently lies in robots. What do you think?
Yeah, safety features, automation in cars. So they're in a way taking over.
Yes, you just spoke about braking, so that's
right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'll give you a statistic though. So statistically, does it add up? Do AI cars actually prevent accidents? According to one particular source, this source says that autonomous vehicles are involved in more crashes.
Wow.
9.1 crashes per million miles travelled compared to 4.1 for conventional cars with a human operator.
Right.
Okay. So what then? Is it the solution? Or is the technology in its infancy? It's still developing.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. It's still developing. Like I said, it's not 100% accurate.
Yeah.
We can't say that right now, but with Tesla, they've got the self-driving.
Yes.
Fully autonomous. I've seen it. It's pretty crazy.
Is that in Australia yet?
Not yet. I think it's semi. But with the software over the air update, it can make it happen, but it comes at a cost to have fully self-driving. And I've seen videos where in America, like people are just like sleeping behind the wheel in their Tesla, right? And they're on the main highway. Like this is like they're doing, for example, 90 to 100 Ks,
90, yeah.
going pretty fast, and the guy's sleeping.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
In the car, and like he's closed his eyes, and the people that are filming, they're like saying this is like crazy, because the car is, it's got cameras, it's scanning the road and stuff, and it knows what to do.
Do you trust the technology? Would you be happy to fall asleep and let the car drive itself?
Look, I'm not really at the moment. But I've seen videos, so it is pretty crazy. I mean, I'd like to be in a driverless car to see how it performs and all that.
Imagine all the money that companies would save on truck drivers or bus drivers or even train drivers. I know in Sydney we have a metro that does not have a driver. Yeah,
it's driverless.
We have a driverless metro. Yep. There were problems at the start with
for sure, teething issues. Yeah.
Trains missing the platform or the doors not lining up with the gates properly.
Not opening up and all that, Yeah.
So that's understood that there are teething issues at the start. People are patient to a degree.
Bugs in the system.
That's precisely right, because it's software.
That's right.
It's not just Tesla, is it? There's Uber. Uber have driverless cars. Anything else?
Yeah, I think, Uber's been testing driverless cars in America.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they've been doing a test here in Australia, but yes, they have been working on driverless cars. But I think something happened. It got into an accident, or someone got killed or something, and they had to pause it because there was a big investigation going on.
Waymo, does that ring a bell to you?
Yeah, Waymo is another like company, I think, which is through Google.
That's right. Yep.
And I think they're still operating. I think they were told to put that trials on hold, but now it's back on again.
Yeah.
They're operating in some states, I think in US.
Yeah, there have been some bad accidents involving fatalities. There was an accident I read about recently where a woman was pulled over by police on a highway in the United States, and then a Tesla autonomous car smashed into the back of her,
Oh, shit.
and she then smashed into the back of the police car, so it caused a 3-car
Wow.
pileup. There are Waymo cars that are getting stuck in dead-end streets, having issues with navigating.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And
I've
also,
seen that. I've seen a video on YouTube actually.
yes, that's a popular one that many people.
The guy was sitting in the back seat,
Yeah.
and the car, I think, the Waymo car rideshare,
Yeah.
just was getting stuck where there was witches' hats, like roadworks, and it just wouldn't move. It just didn't know what to do.
Okay. Was that a recent video?
Possibly, yeah. It would have been months ago, but yeah, it's just pretty interesting to see. It just gets stuck. I don't know. It wasn't picking up to
Absolutely.
divert away from the witches' hats, but yeah.
There is this thing, people are not comfortable with robots. They're not comfortable with giving up control yet.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah, they'd prefer to have a human
to be in
driving,
control.
to be in control, right?
For sure.
So-
Because they say that they feel much safer, for a human to be driving the vehicle than a robot, driverless vehicle,
well, autopilots have been a thing for quite some time,
for a very long time. Yeah,
right? And the pilot has the option to override the autopilot.
100%.
If something unexpected happened, if there's an unexpected weather event or unexpected heavy turbulence or, whatever it may be, the pilot can often override the autopilot.
100%. He just takes care of the wheel.
So
Sorry, not the wheel, the joystick.
the joystick or, yes, the controls.
Yeah, controls.
So if they have that option, maybe a human driver ought to have the same. But yeah, if you're falling asleep behind the wheel, I guess you've got a robot and you've just got to put your faith in the technology.
Well, they were doing some testing about they'll have like a camera in the car analyzing your face,
Okay.
and it could detect that if you're fatigued, like tired,
Yeah.
and it would alert you, or it would take over.
I used to work in an industry that involved a lot of shift work. So one of the things with shift work is that you can become extremely tired, If you got home from a late night shift, hop in the car and the car just drives you home, you can have a nap.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool.
Wow.
So it'll be your own physical car,
Yeah.
but it would have that driverless technology option
Yeah.
to take you home.
To take you home. In the US, you said that driverless cars are very common or more common than they are here.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of anyone that has an autonomous car in Australia.
Well, the Tesla, it is,
Yeah.
but it's not switched on.
Only
Through an update.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, yeah. We often lag behind here in Australia.
Well, the thing is,
very conservative country.
it does come down to, with the transport, the roads,
The roads, okay.
because they set all the rules and all that.
Indeed,
So they
yes.
need to allow these laws.
Yeah. Because you have to set up the infrastructure, the roads, the technology, and obviously they have to put the software in and update everything too. Okay, so brief recap. So we've spoken about road rage. It causes accidents, injuries, deaths on the road. It's unsafe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so maybe given the accidents that are being caused by human error and also by rage, people's emotions getting the better of them, we should introduce technology, autonomous cars and vehicles to get around all this.
That's right. Yeah.
The only other thing I can think of, the thing that might be presenting a hurdle, is people being worried about their jobs. So you mentioned that you worked in transport.
Yeah.
Now, if a robot takes over heavy vehicles, there's no job left for you, right?
Well, that's years away. But yes, they overseas they're trialing driverless buses.
So they've got driverless trains in Sydney at the moment. Are you worried for your job? Are you worried that an automated car might replace you or an automated bus might replace you?
Well, I know that's not going to happen right now, but we never know. Not sure. But I know in retail,
Yeah.
People were worried that, robots, automation's going to take over, just like Amazon.
It kind of has though, because when you go to Woolies, you have a self-service checkout, right?
Yeah.
And how many regular checkouts are there?
Well,
There are probably 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's been reduced.
And the service desk, right? So maybe 5 checkouts with an actual person.
yeah. I mean, look, I understand why they've done it, to make it more efficient and quicker so people can just grab and go.
But then you've got problems with theft, because people don't always scan what they get.
That's right. But, you've got the retail attendant standing there to make sure, people, pay for their goods and stuff.
But if technology gets to a point, right, where people say or companies say human beings can't be trusted, you, Muzike, you cannot be trusted to drive a heavy vehicle because you're a human being. You get tired. You need a lunch break. We need to pay you. Why should we pay a human being who needs all these things when I can just
get a robot to do it 24/7?
Yeah, 24/7.
And it doesn't need a break.
It doesn't need a break. Maybe needs maintenance once every month or something.
For sure, yeah.
Or like system maintenance.
Yeah. Well, of course they need to do maintenance and all that, but at the end of the day, those robots, can work
that's right.
non-stop.
You don't have to put up with someone taking sickies.
Yeah.
You don't have to put up with
It all comes down to cost cutting.
Right?
Yeah.
Cost cutting.
Yeah.
And also HR, you don't have to put up with these annoying workers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, that's
complain
that's
about-
how they think.
Who's they?
Like the companies, if they want to have automation introduced and they want to take over, not having workers, that's how they're thinking, man.
Yeah, right. But that's a problem for people because work gives people a sense of purpose, right? Sure, you have people that choose to be unemployed, okay, and they're in the overwhelming minority. Most people go to work. They might whine or whinge about their job, but really going to work gives people a sense of purpose.
And I think in a way that's how the economy works as well too. People work, they get paid, the money gets spent to the shops.
That's right.
It goes in a circular motion.
Goes in a circular motion. That's right. Certainly. So perhaps technology, computers, robots, they're perfect. They don't complain on the roads. Maybe at the moment there are more accidents involving autonomous cars per capita than regular conventional cars. But in the future, when technology improves, the accidents won't be – they'll probably be either on par or negligible, non-existent practically. Does that mean we should get rid of cars with human drivers? I don't know.
Not really. I mean, I remember, they were designing cars without brake pedals, accelerator pedals, even steering wheel. And it's just fully autonomous.
Wow, okay.
I think I've seen a video.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is weird because that will be full robotic because, you won't have control of it. But I have seen where they've done it in two where, you've got the steering wheel, the brake pedals and stuff, but then you can press the full autonomous mode and then they will just disappear. Like the steering wheel will go back and close behind like a little in a box sort of thing behind.
Really in the future.
And then the pedals would move away as well and it'll just be full autonomous.
Do you enjoy driving?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, driving?
Yeah, it's pretty cruisy. It's relaxing. So,
People,
not everyone likes driving for hours.
I like it. I like driving. I just kind of zone out when I'm going on a long road trip.
Yeah.
Not to the point where I'm not concentrating, but, you've got the open road. It's quite poetic, really.
Yeah.
You've got the windows down. The
scenic views, yeah.
Scenery.
Yeah.
It's quite beautiful.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and you're in control of the car.
Yeah, for sure.
It's nice to be in control of the car. But if you're just an occupant, it does get quite boring.
Yeah, true. But don't forget that when you pump some music,
oh yeah,
then you're in a sexy mood.
Oh, yeah, some night owl, late night fix music, high energy, trance, uplifting
That's
style
right.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, driving can be a joy. It can. Yeah, it can really
Changes people's moods, man.
It does. Yeah, I think tonight we've looked at the negative side of human driving. So the rage,
Yep.
the mistakes, the fatalities,
What
accidents,
triggers them.
racing triggers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
People with bad tempers, animals and maniacs, lunatics, you know. But we haven't looked at the good side of driving. Driving can be enjoyable.
It can, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, driving is not for everyone.
that's for sure. Yes.
There are people that don't like it, but there are heaps of people that love driving.
Absolutely. It's interesting, isn't it? In some countries, to get a gun license, you need to go through mental health checks, you know. They need to make sure that you're not some impulsive, impatient lunatic that's going to, you know.
Background checks, yeah.
Background checks and those sorts of things, especially in countries where they have issues with mass shootings and stuff like that. But there are no background checks for drivers, but you're still driving a weapon, essentially, that could cause mass fatalities.
Yeah. But it comes down to you being responsible. You know, you got
safety, personal responsibility and safety. Yeah. Well, you've got to go through the course. You've got to,
of course.
And these days you have to have a professional instructor in New South Wales.
Yeah.
So it's not just your parents or a family member. So I guess a professional instructor would be trained to look out for red flags and, you know, worrying signs, I suppose.
Of course, and that's why it's best to be with a driver trainer. You know, at least get weeks and weeks of training, build your confidence, your skills, your experience, and then, you know, then you can go for your full driving license test or even for your what is it, red piece? Yeah.
I think these days in New South Wales, you start off on your learners, then
that's right.
Red, green.
Yes, red, green, and then full license.
Full license, yeah. Yeah, and these days there are very rarely manual cars in Australia.
Yeah, well, when I started to learn, I actually jumped into learning manual.
It's a Nissan Exa, I believe. I remember that car. It was red.
Burgundy red. It was pretty. It was sexy car, man.
Classic burgundy red.
Yeah, but the reason why I, you know, chose to learn in manual, because then you could drive auto as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you've got the option.
If you only went and did auto, then you couldn't drive a manual car. I'm not sure if that option is still, you know, available right now. Maybe things have changed, but I remember back in the days, you know, you could either choose, if you drove to learn in manual, then you could drive auto as well.
Auto,
but if you only chose auto, then, you know, you'd have to wait a year or two, then you could, you know, drive manual car.
I remember driving manual. I remember all the mistakes I used to make, grinding gears, the friction
clutch,
point. The friction point, right?
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah.
And then you'd stall the car too.
Stalling the car. Hill starts. I was always afraid of rolling the car.
Everyone does it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's nervous, you know.
But once you get the hang of it and you become good at it, then you become a pro.
Oh, it's beautiful driving a manual car. Yeah.
But there's not many manual cars around, because these days all the you know, car dealers are all selling automatic, auto car. Yeah.
Even on a bike, actually, they've got the gear select now, so it's automatic clutchless gear selection.
Yeah.
But
I think manual cars are being phased out.
Probably.
Without us knowing, like, you know, slowly.
I vaguely remember, though, that manual cars are more fuel efficient than automatic cars. Apparently.
Really?
Yeah, so I've read.
Was this from back in the days?
Oh, that's a good question. Look,
because now it would be different.
Now, of course, it would be different because we have hybrids and cars these days are so much more fuel efficient.
That's right.
Automatic fuel injection and no carburetors, and the air fuel mixture's so much better. And,
for sure.
You know, all the technology. And the thing is, technology changes, right? Yeah.
Yes, technology evolves over time.
Yeah.
And it becomes better and better.
Yeah. In the future, we'll probably have floating maglev cars or something, you know, like we won't even have cars with wheels or drones.
Flying cars.
Flying
Have you
cars.
seen that movie Fifth Element?
Yes, yeah, with Bruce Willis, and yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, it was
That
pretty
opera scene.
crazy actually.
Flying
Yeah,
cars, the
but-
Jetsons.
Yeah, that's years away to see a flying car, but it's possible.
Well, the infrastructure's got to be there, I suppose. You know,
Yeah.
for a maglev, they need a magnetic field around the train line, and then they turn it on.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for that train, yeah.
So maybe it'll just be one huge magnetic field. They just turn it on.
Yeah.
Probably need
That
to
it
be,
would float.
Yeah, it would float.
Yeah.
Yeah, things would just.
Yeah. Well, not float all the way high. It would just be, probably about a meter.
Oh, I think it'll just be a uniform magnetic field, and then you can adjust the settings on the vehicle to your height.
Right.
Basically, yeah. I don't know how it's going to be. I'm not one of these.
Yeah,
sci-fi
that's
people, but,
the what is it called? The tunnel thing that they're trialing now.
Oh.
Elon Musk was
Oh, okay. Hyperloop
is it a Hyperloop? Yeah.
could be. Virgin Hyperloop. So Sir Richard Branson, I think that would be.
Yeah,
not,
he's doing one as well too.
Oh, okay. On November 8th, 2020, the first passengers travelled safely on a Hyperloop.
Oh wow.
Yeah, making transportation history. So Hyperloop is some kind of
It's
thing.
a new
how it
technology,
works.
yeah. But I don't know how long. Probably it's years away from being another official transport.
Oh, yeah. It's like a train, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, an underground train that goes really, really fast.
It's in a tube with
Yeah.
no air.
It's like those things at Woolies when you put the money in the tube and it goes thump,
Yeah.
whatever that's called.
Forgot. I remember.
Yeah. Something like hospitals sometimes have them. The tube or something they're called, I think.
Yeah.
Thump. But when we've got these magnetic fields in big cities, it'll just be like, I'm just making that sound. It's like from a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the future, huh? It's kind of exciting the way things are headed.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot
big
of
time.
things have changed.
You'll need a lot of power to generate to fuel all this stuff, though, like magnetic fields, hyperloops. You need a big power source.
Yeah. And we'll cover across with renewable energy, different fuel sources and all that. That will be in the next
Yeah.
one of the next hot topics, I guess.
Yeah,
in
we
the
will talk
upcoming
about that.
episodes
Yeah,
as well
yeah,
too.
yeah.
So
How
that'll
we
be really
gonna-
interesting.
How are we going to power all this infrastructure? It's going to take a
Yeah.
lot of power. So the engineers, the clever people, the smart people in the world, they've got to figure all this stuff out. I'm sure they've got it all worked out.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
look, it's been, great to talk about road rage tonight.
Yeah, gee, all the things we've spoken about.
Yeah, because
tonight.
that's pretty important, because, we don't want to see people getting in incidents or, something happening to them. So, yeah, guys, I think, it's best, keep cool, stay calm, don't let it get to you.
Yeah, well, you're in control of the car and you're also in control of your emotions.
That's right.
Yeah, if you lose control of your emotions, you're not really in control.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, master yourselves.
That's right.
Absolutely. Hey, what a great topic to talk about tonight. Road rage.
Yeah.
Huge topic.
Really good topic. Yeah, it's a hot
yeah.
topic. Yeah. Because it
And,
happens, like I said, it nearly happens every day.
Yeah, well, I was speaking to a friend from Israel yesterday, and he said that in Israel it's quite normal for people to honk their horns.
Yeah. But it's illegal here.
Is it illegal?
I think it is, but
Oh, okay.
you need to have a good reason if you get caught.
Yeah.
But I think they give a blind eye to it in a way.
Because I was talking to another friend today at training for soccer, and he was telling me this story. Someone was behind him in traffic and just held his hand on the horn for 3 or 4 minutes, beep, and did not let go. Obviously it's all anonymous, but yeah, there's a story behind that too. And it's like crazy things happen on the roads.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Crazy things indeed. Okay. All right, Muzike.
Yep. Haza, it's a pleasure to talk about this tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed episode 2,
Mm-hmm.
Road Rage. And stay tuned for episode 3.
Rage, 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 rage.
Oh, wow.
It's like on the ABC, the music show, remember?
Yeah.
Rage, rage, rage.
I think that was music video.
Yeah,
something.
When I couldn't get to sleep, I always listened to Rage.
Yeah.
All right.
But well, it's good to, talk about road rage tonight. And hot it up, cars. Oh my God. How hectic.
I just remember that at school as well. People would go, whoa, the blow-off valve.
Yeah, well, it's true. I actually haven't seen many of those cars around these days.
Yeah, no, it's all
Have
the
you noticed not many people are doing up their cars?
It's just the Mercs. They have the luxury cars. They have those really loud exhausts that backfire.
Stock or something like that. Yeah,
they backfire. They go bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like what?
It's just to show off, man.
It's such a
It's too loud as well, too.
In the old days, like if you had a backfiring car, that meant you owned a bomb. But these days, if your car backfires, that's hectic. Oh, gee.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you got, the subwoofer and all the doof music. Yeah.
In the Macca's drive-through behind.
And then, I remember back in the days in the city, everyone used to go cruising into the city with their hotted up cars and they're
laps.
doing laps. Yes, George Street. And, pumping high energy music and all that. It's crazy.
People act weird in their cars. They pick their nose like no one's watching them. They bite their nails like me.
Yeah.
They do their makeup, while they're driving, holding the steering wheel and also applying their mascara.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
Well, not at home to do that, but yeah.
True.
But yeah, a lot of things have changed over the years. So
yeah, they have. They really have.
It's crazy.
There are no longer, can you light your cigarettes in a car now? They don't have that anymore, do they?
Oh, that little
the little burner.
Yeah, that circular burner thing. Yeah,
I think
that was in the old cars, man.
Yeah, they don't have those anymore. I suppose they don't want people to smoke anymore, I guess.
Yeah, that probably be a safety issue as well too.
True. My brother was burnt on his cheek with one of those cigarette lighters.
Oh well, it's not good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Ah, there you go. Okay.
All right.
Beautiful.
I think we're gonna have to wrap it up tonight.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. We keep talking.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, episode 2. Hope you enjoyed it, and please stay tuned for episode 3 coming your way. This is the Late Night Fix. See ya.
See ya. Bye.
So I moved it to an exchange and I sold it and I made like $60,000 from $150. If that goes to 50 cents, you will literally have $250,000.
Do you think you could live off crypto? Could you live off it?
100%.